I think my expert in gender and development studies in Sri Lanka, one of the experts. And also UN, right. And not only in Sri Lanka, the UN expert. Right. And also she served to Sri Lanka Association for the Advancement of Science over 15 years in various capacities. Once she was the president of Section F, Section for Social Sciences in 2005, I suppose. Then prior to that, she conducted a seminar, workshop in Cambodia in this particular subject, international conference in this particular subject, environment and Buddhism. And editor of class for long years, and also editor of the Royal Asiatic Society. It is our privilege to invite Dr. Hema to attend Buddhism, Biodiversity, Women's Role in Conservation.
Friends, let me start. My presentation is 3 parts. 1, Buddhist principles that are relevant to the discussion. I might have to repeat some of the things that Sarah mentioned, and also the part 2, and also the role of women as described by the Buddha, and the last part, women's role in conservation. As background, let me start. Chief events in the Buddha's life occurred under trees. His birth, although he was not responsible for the choice of place though, attaining enlightenment, his first address to monks, his passing away, and many other his addresses to on many other occasions. The Buddha's love for the nature, I'm just skipping through quickly. I may repeat, but for the sake of mentioning them, for the sake of reinforcing, the Buddha said, seeking the supreme state of supplying peace, I wandered until I saw a delightful stretch of land and lovely woodland over, and a clear flowing river with a delightful pulse. So I sat down thinking, indeed, this is an appropriate place to strive for the ultimate realization of nirvana. This is super quoting. Then Buddhists have been, it was also discussed, Buddhists have been emulating this Buddha's example. Many aranyas in Asia have been, these are forests and temples, have been in forests and mountains, and it's also the same today in the Buddhist West. I go to my section 1. Core Buddhist teachings are very relevant to our discussion. Interrelatedness of all forms, many of these things I'm sure you are very well aware, but I'm repeating it. Intricate web of life, Paticca, etc., etc. Remind one of Gaia hypothesis. Gaia is a Greek word. The hypothesis that all organisms and their inorganic surroundings on Earth are closely integrated. Now in Buddhism, human beings, animals, plants are equally important. Coexistence, I stress the word equally. Coexistence of all living beings without any discrimination. does not recognize human supremacy. No hierarchical interactions. Human beings are just another component of this interdependent, interwoven, interconnected, different components of the environment. Plants are equally important. Animals as well as plants are equally important. The Vinaya Pitaka prohibited Buddhist monks and nuns from peeling and cutting trees, polluting green grass and water with saliva, urine and poo. The Buddha said trees provide shade and shelter even to the person who is planning to destroy trees. The construction of parks and pleasure groves for public use is considered a great meritorious deed. Another core principle is sustainable lifestyle in Buddhism. It's a very core principle. Buddhism advocates a sustainable lifestyle grounded in the values of moderation and simplicity. Today, ostentatious consumerism is accepted as the order of the day. Man's unrestrained exploitation of nature has given rise to an energy crisis on the one hand and pollution problem on the other. And there is, of course, one can quote even on the pollution problem, what the Buddha had said. Although the pollution was not such a problem, Buddha once said, the noisy monks, he asked the monks to not to make the noise, that kind of stuff. Non-acquisition, the Buddha advocated the virtue of non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion in all human pursuits. Excessive greed has pushed mankind to satisfy excessive and unnecessary demands, pushing them into endless competition, leading to self-destruction and environmental change. This is what Venerable Bhakti spoke in at length. Greed breeds sorrow and unhealthy consequences. Contentment, sambuddhi, is a much praised word in Buddhism. It's very well known. Sambuddhi Paramantana, very common popular saying. Then, the saved and not waste approach to Buddhism means that nothing in nature is spoiled or wasted, and the destruction upsets the vital balance of life. If you hurt one part, the entire thing gets hurt. It will destroy one part, the entire planet gets destroyed, the entire web gets destroyed, or it destroys its balance. The Buddha commended frugality, thrifty economic use of ropes. All ropes are used as coverlets, all coverlets as mattress covers, all mattress covers as rugs, all rugs as dusters. All tattered dusters are kneaded with clay and used to repair cracked floors and walls. Virtues of restraint is another core principle. Restraint, non-aggression. Buddhism advocated a gentle, non-aggressive attitude towards nature. A householder should accumulate wealth as a bee collects pollen from a flower, harming neither the fragrance nor the beauty of the flower. A person devoted to service of others should practice 4 Brahmaviharas. The well-known Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. Metta, loving kindness, practice of loving kindness. Just as one's own life is precious to oneself, so is the life of the others, precious to himself or herself, towards all creatures of all borders without restriction, timid and steady, long and short, big and small, minute and great, visible and invisible, near and far, born and awaiting, all kinds of beings. And Karuna, compassion brings respect for the quality of all sentient beings, the basis for a balanced view of the whole world and of the environment. It's a basic element. Then mudita, sympathetic or vicarious joy, the pleasure that comes from delighting in other people's success and well-being rather than grudging. I guess this is something very, very unusual in any civilization or religion or civilization. This mudita, for you to take pleasure or to be pleased with somebody else's success or well-being. Upekha, equanimity. Distributive justice is another core principle in Buddhism. The Buddhist ethic of distributive justice, rich merchant class provide for the poor. Buddhism is very much on etc. Allows the removal of injustice and so removal of social strains on the environment. Moral and spiritual transformation. This is something really, really important. Special emphasis in Buddhism on individual moral and spiritual transformation. I think this is the greatest challenge for us today in changing environmental attitudes. That is, we have to transform myself first before trying to transform somebody else. Other principles, generosity, pleasant words, dana, vimachana, vision actions, charya, equality, samanapata, non-violence, and so on, etc. A great approach today in changing these are very helpful in changing environmental attitudes, disrupting environmental attitudes. What made the Buddha emphasize these teachings? It was a time 600 before Christ, when the region was undergoing a process of urbanization and political centralization. Buddha looked at that. Commercial development and formation of artisan and merchant classes were occurring. The creation of towns and expansion of an agrarian economy led to the clearing of forests and other tracts of uninhabited land. Buddha naturally came up very strongly with these environmental concerns because of his social economic background against which he was born and lived. Several suttas directly address these issues, Agana Sutta, Viskilana Sutta, etc. I'm not going to go into detail, just mention demoralized to greed, famine is the natural outcome. When moral degeneration is due to ignorance, epidemics are the inevitable result. When hatred is the demoralizing force, there is widespread violence. Then my part 2, the role of women as described by the Buddha. The Buddha made a clear distinction between the biological role and social role of women. This is very important. Apart from the biological difference of sex, the psychosomatic constitution, the nama rupa, of every individual being the same. The basic physical, psychological and emotional needs of the genus of beings remain identical. Equality between human beings is supported from biological and anthropological perspectives. Unlike in the case of plants and animals, characterized by differences of species, human beings belong to one single species. No differences between human beings.